Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to Habilitat's last Saturday poetry event. My name is Connie DeDonna. We are coming to you from Habilitat, located on the waterfront in beautiful Kaneohe. Habilitat, the place of change. Habilitat, changing the hardcore into the responsible for. Who do you want to be? Tonight I will share some individual interpretations of performance in slam poetry. We will also hear from some of the Habilitat residents. But first, let me give you a little history on what is a poetry slam. A poetry slam is a competition at which poets read or recite original work, or more rarely that of others. These performances are then judged on a numeric scale by previously selected members of the audience. What is the difference between a poetry slam and a poetry reading? Basically, a poetry slam is a poetry reading on steroids. Successful slam poets have an energetic presence on stage and engage the audience and judges in a dynamic way through their poems. Obviously, there is a very distinct style of spoken word poetry that makes a good slam poem, and certainly not all poetry translates very well to the slam format or performance in general. Some poets are closely associated with the vocal delivery style found in hip-hop music and draw heavily on the tradition of dub poetry, a rhythmic and politicized genre belonging to Black and particularly West Indian culture. Others employ an unrhyming narrative formula. Some use traditional theatric devices, including shifting voices and tones, while others may recite an entire poem in ironic monotone. Some poets use nothing but their words to deliver a poem, while others stretch the boundaries of the format, tap dancing or beatboxing or using highly choreographed movements. Props, costumes, and music are generally forbidden in slams, distinguishing this category from its immediate predecessor, performance poetry. Non-slam style poetry readings, on the other hand, come in two general flavors: closed invitational or open mic. In the closed invitational format, poets are usually invited by a venue to read their works and people come to listen. Often there are one or more featured poets and sometimes even a theme that the reading revolves around. Open mics, on the other hand, are readings where anyone can sign up to read their poetry. Usually, in the open mic format, there is a sign-up period prior to the start of the reading, with a limited amount of time slots to fill and first come, first served. Usually, you are given a time limit, such as 3 minutes or 5 minutes, so that most everyone who wants to share their poetry gets a chance. And lastly, it goes without saying that the quality level in the closed invitational format is generally much more consistent than at open mics, where quality can range drastically from someone who's never stood in front of a group before to incredibly charismatic and brilliant poets. Let's give you a little bit more history. The creator and founder of the poetry slam movement is Mark Kelly Smith, an American poet. Smith was born in 1949 and grew up in the southeast side of Chicago. He spent most of his young life as a construction worker, but has written poetry since he was 19. Smith started the first slam in November of 1984. According to Smith, the very word poetry repels people because of what schools have done to it. The slam gives it back to the people. We need people to talk poetry to each other. That's how we communicate our values, our hearts, the things that we've learned that make us who we are. In 1990, the first National Poetry Slam took place in Fort Mason, San Francisco, involving a team from Chicago, a team from San Francisco, and an individual poet from New York. As of 2010, the National Poetry Slam has grown and currently features approximately 80 certified teams each year, culminating in 5 days of competition. Slams have spread all over the world, with slam scenes in Canada, Germany, Sweden, France, Austria, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, Switzerland, Nepal, the Netherlands, Portugal, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, the Czech Republic, Poland, Serbia, Bosnia, Denmark, Latvia, South Korea, Japan, India, and Greece. Slam poetry has found popularity as a form of self-expression among many teenagers. Youth Speaks, a nonprofit literary organization founded in 1996 by James Cass, serves as one of the largest youth poetry organizations in America, offering opportunities for youth ages 13 to 19 to express their ideas on paper and stage. Okay, so that's the history. My personal introduction to slam, let me just make sure this doesn't go anywhere, began at the 2010 Penn Women Conference, where I signed up for a workshop with Liz Soto. Liz Soto is the executive director of Youth Speaks Hawaii. She warmed us up by asking us to call out words which she wrote down on the blackboard. And our prompt was, I want to be a poet because. Why are you here? Write why being a poet is important to you and use as many words as you can from the list. So the first poem that I'm going to share with you tonight is called I Want to Be a Poet. I want to be a poet because I need to know who I am, how I am, why I am, like breathing or sex, like Starbucks coffee, to choose from an endless list of black and strong with cream and sugar. I want to be a poet because it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that zing. To people in the bayou with alligators for neighbors and mosquitoes as big as flying saucers that want to drink your blood and leave whelps the size of basketballs. Big, orange, hard balls. The balls that it takes to stand up and shout about seniority and authority and about the assonance and consequence of our actions. I want to be a poet because of the reason and the rhyme, mocking time, dripping from my tongue, age like fine wine, lyrical and magical. Alice chasing a rabbit into a hole filled with soul, out of control, hanging from a cliff with a note. High on hope instead of dope. Set adrift on a boogie ship with a fever, unrehearsed and cursed to just be. I want to be a poet because of sibilant S's and because I want to weigh the wind on an impossible scale next to a fishtail that never pales or smells stale or fishy. I want to be shackled to a form and not mourn, to show the flaming red dawn like a phoenix rising from the ashes to give birth to the music of my faith over and over again. Forever drunk on strong words, ringing in my ears, high above the herd, until my last measured day on earth. That's it. Okay. The next poem was inspired by Jeff Nash, actually. I was kind of checking out some of his videos because you guys post a lot of videos online. And I was watching one, and he had one of the graduates come back, and he coined a phrase. He said, "The affliction of addiction." I'm going, the affliction of addiction. Woo! That's cool. That has a little rhythm to it. The affliction of addiction. And sometimes, you know, for us poets, because we're so strange, it only takes one word to get us going, to set us off. So this next one is called affliction. Most of us suffer from some form of it. If it isn't drugs or alcohol, it's cigarettes, coffee, exercise, gambling, the internet, sugar, shopping, plastic surgery, sex, or food. We overindulge. It is our religion. And then we deny it. We'll tell you that you are crazy. We suffer from a disease, therefore we need help. We are not accountable for our actions. We stopped being accountable in the 60s, and it has morphed into the beast it is today. Congratulations, madam. We have a gazillion afflictions, and we believe that it will take some hard work to get back to normal. What does that mean? When did we start believing the lies? We believe that we are insignificant, that life is a poker hand, that once you are afflicted, there's little to be done. You have to live with it. The devil made me do it. Just swallow that knot in your throat. It'll be all right in the morning. But the morning has come and gone, and here we are fixed in front of our TVs and our iPads, waiting for the Savior, waiting for that asteroid, waiting for 2012. We believe in aliens, Bigfoot, the paranormal, and war. We believe in pressing 1 for Spanish and 2 for English. We believe in that being rich or powerful, or rich and powerful, will solve most of our problems. We follow the movements of Oprah and film stars like they have the secret to creation. We just need to do what they do, wear what they wear, eat what they eat. We will put up with just about anything so long as it doesn't change any of our plans or alter our thinking. We want to give it all to God. All our choices, all our problems and suffering. Let him fix it. Fix the country. Fix the planet. Fix the universe. Fix everything so we can continue to do whatever we want. We pray for an answer, but God has answered. He's on strike. He wants us to get up off our lazy asses. He's given us all that we need. The ball's in our court. It's the final quarter of the game, the last tournament. Kiss your sorry, self-serving issues. Bye-bye. Departures are coming for you. All aboard. Go on. Get in your sleeper cars. This train is bound for affliction. Thank you. You know, maybe it's just me, but I don't need to walk around with a heavy sign around my neck that says I'm a recovering cigarette smoker, that it's been 20 years since my last drag. I don't need to go to meetings or confess my cravings, which I honestly don't remember. I don't need the pat on the back or the camaraderie of fellow ex-smokers to get through another day. I sent that bitch packing. I buried it, said a few words, left it to rot where it belongs. I didn't look back. Some friend soiled my hair, my lungs, and clothes. It yellowed my teeth, wrinkled my face, turned me into a liar and a sneak, made me miss out on special times with friends and family. It was a selfish and conceited bully. Never satisfied, it made me believe all sorts of lies, always wanting more and more of my attention. It had me fooled, spun me up like a top. I forgot about food. I lived on diet soda and 1 meal a day. It was the first thing I reached for in the morning and the last thing at night. I slowly learned that I had other choices, that I didn't have to be a victim or a hostage to this so-called friend. So I quit that habit, dropped it for the cheat that it was, and suddenly food tasted better. My car, house, and my breath smelled cleaner, sweeter, attracting more positive friends like health and fitness. It brought things like memory into sharper focus, reversed the damage to my lungs, gave me a life free from chronic bronchitis, made my immune system more resistant to infection and speeded healing. My so-called friend had been killing me inch by inch, securing me a front row seat, a VIP ticket to the Dirt and Ash concert. But I decided to postpone that rendezvous. I know that time will come soon enough. In the meantime, I have too many things to accomplish, so many doors to unlock, reawakening the child within, reminding me of simplicity and common sense and how things used to be and could be again if I just let it be. Shredding old boundaries and blasting way beyond my comfort zone, way past where any of my old friends had ever gone or will ever go. Particularly about me standing up and speaking out, me who is a work in progress, me who is trying to lose the people pleaser attitude. I am me. I am me, the reflection staring back from the mirror, the half-full cup, the dark chocolate freak, sometime friend to a certain scale. I learned in the face of challenge that my obscurity may be a good thing, that as I trip and fall, no one will see or care. I am a notion, a shadow, a spot on the frame, moving past old beliefs, sometimes haunted, chased, driven, and alone. I existed before to fill your square pegs, round spaces, to color inside your lines. Anything for you. I persist to soulfully pound in the dark without a key, without a pig's chance in hell that you will understand my need. I am a rogue wave, a rushing tide, a rare voice, a thinking stone, passionately pulled, occasionally moved, mixing and mashing, slashing, splitting, flicking hard-nosed butts against a blue-green world of melting ice, smoking pillars, shifting theories, and trash technology. I am me, a miracle to those that bore me with nothing but a seed to plant, nothing but hopes and dreams. I am much more than your dogma, much more than a pulsing frame, weary heart, weak organs, tired blood, hidden muscle, and moral bone. I've decided to heal myself, love myself, protect myself at all times. My eyes are wide open. My ears can hear the snide remarks, the careless whispers, your thoughts when you think that no one is here. I feel your doubt. It is the shroud of past judgment and bad attitudes. I can taste your fear. It is an acid that burns inside my stomach, mutilating my mind, my soft places. I existed before for your praise as a child of a lesser God, but I am not less. I will be free to speak and to say what I damn well please, and I don't have to explain my motives or make up lies, because I am a strong woman, and I can do better. I will not settle for your whims, your reckless ways, your trickery. I will walk out of here whole. I will leave this place better. I will win because I'm not a quitter, because I know that they can teach me, that I will learn, that I will thrive, because I deserve to dream, to laugh, to love, to be with my family. Because that, my friends, is good enough. I deserve my birthright. I deserve to inherit the thinking and the wisdom of our Creator, to move beyond the mess I've become. I am me. Are fought over land, right? So I made up this poem and I assigned human characteristics to my room, and it talks about the importance of having one. My room. I need a room, space to update my feeds, check my clout, trend my world, change my Vanity Fair underwear, and travel with friends to worldwide places, never leaving the chair in my room. I need a place to mount my camera's glassy eye on Jesus' footprints, pressing faith's filial stamp into the sand that plumbs a creative form in a sacred site called my room. Afterwards, I'll need red lipstick, Mr. Chippendale, and a back rub. Imagine what would happen if I woke up and it was gone, stolen from me. No ransom, no prints, no DNA. Would I tweet a letter to the editor? Post it on Facebook? Call the Navy SEALs? Would tracking my room employ scare tactics? Wage a war like the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, radiating mothball white, melting fallout, flesh screaming nightmares? Would it evoke friendly fire from slick uniforms with shiny medals in high places? Would finding my room trigger an out-of-body experience? Stop the killing? End world hunger? Press a magic button? Liberate mankind? Is my room a soft place to land when I'm having a bad day, or will it get callous, caught up in the fray? Does it prefer a 6-star review, an award, a Miss Manners nod, or a racy tattoo? Does my room have a muse? Did I name her? Will she tame my editor, a spag hag like a following seed? Does she have a name? Did she practice her lines? Did she train, comprehend the rules of the game? Will my room leak trade secrets to the hackers, all my friends, fans, and backers? Tracking my progress from a small nook or a Kindle book, the one I undertook in my room? Will my room drown in white pages written in stages throughout the ages for little or no wages? Or will yours truly, Miss Poet, a swagger-swept twit, burnt-out frown, upside down, a drooling mylar wit, unable to dream, turn out a hostage to a flat screen in my room? This is inspired by our present current events and our economic woes. Good morning, America. Good morning, Starbucks. Venti me. I'm going for the bypass tomorrow. I woke up today and all my size 12s turned into 4s and I can't get the zipper up. I may need EMS to resuscitate me from this goddamn war that's killing all of our boys, and I'm asking, Mr. President, what's it all for? I want off this roller coaster. I want Opie and Andy to call I Love Lucy and tell her that marrying Ricky is a big mistake, that Ethel is a cow, and Fred is really a serial killer. Good morning, America. I need a Zen moment, a place to exhale all the garbage from my black lungs coughed up in the trenches of foreign wars that I can't afford because my credit just went down the tubes and needs a banker, a little gold to back me up, prevent my guts from being blown up in the chopper in a bombed-out country that hires kids as mercenaries. What the hell is it for, Mr. Senator? Good morning, America. Stop the bullshit, the crying soap opera raging about the streets of London, the famine in Mogadishu. Don't you see that we are all in this together? We need a plan. We need Mr. Spock to beam down and give us the logical answer before the alien High Council sends us to a frozen prison planet, because no one here is innocent. Good morning, America. Let's toast the Statue of Liberty one last time before China calls in her note, before the polar ice cap melts, the Earth stops resettling, before Voyager reaches its final destination. Good morning, America. Today is the day we resurrect God. Meet those ancient aliens who designed the giant stone monoliths that litter the planet like a Burma Shave ad for space travel. Magnets to foreign collectors from a far-off galaxy who will surely look up in their ancient texts, calculating the odds of contracting the human infection, inoculating the crew for their close encounter of a shitty kind. Good morning, America. Wake up. We are being consumed by a sinkhole, a malfunction in the Earth's crust, sliding, suffocating, obsessed, and arrogant, and our time is running out. Pardon me, excuse my partisan ass, Mr. Speaker, but America is pissed off. And we were wondering when you people on Capitol Hill will get up off your rich collective butts and do what you were elected for, which is to speak for the people. Because we are tired of swallowing your sovereign agendas, and we're not going to finance them anymore. This next one is kind of me a little bit bragging. But it was based and inspired by a movie that I saw about a woman that got stoned in Iran. And this happened, the name of the movie was called The Stoning of Soraya M. I don't know if any of you have seen that. But boy, did that have a profound effect upon me. And I started to think about how lucky we are to be born in America. You know, we women. We take that for granted, but we are incredibly lucky. We have stuff, we have rights over here that they don't have in a lot of those countries. They get treated like cattle. So anyway, this one is called Feminine Legacy, and this is for the ladies. I've earned my way, climbed up the ladder to success, done everything from waiting tables to running my own business. Read my lips, no free rides. I've been a supermarket cashier, a bookkeeper, a roofer, and a vinyl siding installer. I ran my first and last marathon at 40 and a biathlon and a triathlon. Became a certified personal trainer and a group fitness instructor with a specialty recognition in water exercise. Retired at 43 and now an award-winning author. I have traveled to 6 different continents. Flown, cruised, driven, motorcycled, and hiked. I've walked inside the empty pyramids of Giza, marveled at the Sphinx, touched the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem and the Colosseum in Rome, toured Vatican City and St. Peter's Basilica, hiked up steep mountainous cliffs to the monasteries in Metaora, Greece, sailed down the Rhine, Main, and Danube, waved at the Lorelei and the giant castles, crossed the St. Charles Bridge in Prague. I visited the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, gazed in wonder at the masterpieces of Rembrandt and Vermeer, toured Delft and Brussels. I've motorcycled around the southern rim of the Grand Canyon and witnessed the beauty of the fall colors. I've been trail riding while listening for bear in Alaska on the Kenai Peninsula. I've climbed up the steep, uneven stairs of the Great Wall of China and posed for a picture before Cristo Redentor in Rio de Janeiro. I've survived hordes of hungry flies driving in a rental car from Sydney to swim in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia and walked across a glacier in Mount Cook on the South Island of New Zealand. And along the way shared dinners with doctors, lawyers, teachers, seniors, and exchange students, some robust and others on their last leg. I've inhaled the markets of Lisbon and Casablanca, sampled the wares, skirting old men smoking stale cigarettes, drinking strong coffee, holding fast to ancient beliefs, no longer relevant to anyone but them. Ignorant men trapped inside decaying walls stinking of urine and fish guts, where women are traded and bred as cattle and the smart ones get locked away, never to be seen or heard from again. I know that I am one of the lucky ones, that this still goes on today, evidenced by movies of women being stoned by indifference and fear. Innocent, courageous women who dared to upset the status quo. Good women and their daughters discarded like trash by uncaring husbands, by fathers who would taunt their little girls to eke a living from a stone field. Women who had summoned the courage to work for a widower's paltry coins and were later accused of sleeping with their employer. I've witnessed the degradation and the intolerance, saw the film The Stoning of Soraya M., the story of a courageous woman who stood up and spoke out, branded as crazy, her niece's name forever etched into my hard drive. I have touched the awe and the stain that is mankind, smelled its shocking stink, listened for its erratic pulse, and have dragged my aching heart through the sweat and the filth, seesawing between indifference and compassion, and still I dare to thrive, to stay connected, and learn as much as I can, to process, to teach, to pass it forward, and to hope. Because that is my oath as an American. That is my legacy. Okay, this last one is a character sketch of a female photojournalist named Mitch. And Mitch is kind of a hard-boiled woman because she's living basically in a man's world. And the females in that field are at 11%. And I was listening to the Lady Gaga song Paparazzi, and it's a love-hate thing between the star and the photographer. So this one is called, and are there any New Yorkers in the room? Anybody from New York? All right, New York. New York in the house. Okay. I'm going to try to do this with a New York accent. I've carved a creative niche, bittersweet, difficult to deal with as I saunter down your street. My verse is clipped, and yeah, I'm truly shameless. My heart's a trip, my wit's effing famous. I wait for endless hours to shoot a simple view. I direct my burning lens to puke my primary hue. It may affect your estimation. You see, I got a reputation. It requires lots of concentration. My degree is in dedication to my work. You can't be caught obscene with this drama queen. Yeah, my bad. I mean, my gear is often stuck in some balls, hairy places, lacking social graces with droidic plaster embedded in our faces. I'll frame you full of life, smug and satisfied, bare-ass naked, soaked in all your lies. Shoot that. I am a creative dish, itching to generate, maybe palpitate. Because I can imagine you was once a gift, your mama's boy, her pride and joy, intact, a sap, jailbait, that wouldn't dream of being late or make me wait, full of phony excuses, foul abuses, to face the boozers, sucking users that refuses to make the right choices, to grout their wired voices. Why? Because nothing shoots better than living in your car, and because I work for the star, you know. Yeah, I'm Mitch, and one dizzy bitch. What's it to you? You standing there solid in your Dirty J crew. And I am an artiste. Won't you be my candid shot and play with me some more? Maybe later we can pan and zoom by the corner candy store. Because my lens is in your face, so shut the fuck up. Don't diss me in my space. I just keep you a while. What was your name? Kyle? Just turn your sweet cheeks to the left, and babes, give me a big smile.
My old man works all the time just to provide the extra dime, but time failed to provide him. I leave it alone. My world, my nurture was once beautiful, from dusk to dawn entrapped within four corners of our own domain and enslaved by our own mind. Racing thoughts clenching the pit of her stomach, screaming and weeping, watching the stream of water that flowed down her cheek that stains her pillow. Pain and agony has left her withered like a withered rose. She puts on her makeup and she heads out the door, standing on the porch and realizes she has got nowhere to go. I leave it alone. I used to play games that involve shining chrome blades that cut perfect slices in the skin. Unsatisfaction oozing forth from my soul. Silence has become of me. I wake to visions of men dressed in white, stethoscopes swinging back and forth on their necks like pendulums. Crimson darkness to pierce light. I yearn the freedom belonging with birds in flight. Soaring up and above the world so bright. Bring me to a pause as I glance down below. Sky's the limit, destiny is calling my name. Now take me to a place where I need to go. Back at the crow's nest, I look once more. In search for my happiness is there forever galore.
Okay. Okay. So this is called Time Consumes My Mind. Okay. This is esoteric, so open your minds. Suburban stars light up the skies. A shadow's cast upon his eyes. The moon's bright light dims the mood of the night. and secretly she cries. Thin shadows paint my skin. Eternal life bursts within. Time consumes the one which whom's put restraints on their minds. Seek, seek, look, and you will find the blind. Appreciate the sound of breaking waves, the warmth embrace. I will weather the storm, whether or not I feel norm. Malice does not conform, but life and peace I am full. Full of life, sweep me from under my feet. I can barely speak. I'm ready this time, and I feel alive. I can barely speak. Tick, tick, the wicked witch. Bitch, get out of my mind!
Whatever it takes. You say you do whatever it takes to change your life, for heaven's sakes. Well, now, why do you care? Is it even worth capping your hair? You say it's over, you want a new life. Are you willing to leave your addiction behind? Time to put things up on the shelf. Your kids, your family, your spiritual self. Get down to it, clean your backyard. 2.5 years seems so far. But think about it long and hard. Make the decision, deal the right cards. The choice is yours, it's up to you. The place you're heading, don't breed no fools. Now that you're here, what will you do? Act like a sponge, it's the best thing for you. Scream loud that you need mad help. Be sincere, be heartfelt. Get involved, make some friends. You're gonna need them till the end. Here for a minute, make some mistakes, scrub a pan, remember, do what it takes. Going into games, start hearing the truth. Why you keep on running from you? Funny how you've preyed on the weak, yet coming in here, not a word to speak. You think you're big, you think you're bad, but all this time, you've just been had. Damn, face your fears and your realities, your street and prison hard mentalities. You ain't shit bringing that in here. Let go of the past, talk to your peers. Get up, get stood up, don't crumble and break. Stand accountable, don't be so fake. Shot back down to the start, contract, third badge, play your part. What's so hard to change your ways? Remember, you said whatever it takes.
Okay, I don't have a title for this, I was just trying to get involved. Sitting in midnight, toxic, melancholy memories plaguing me as I try to push away thoughts that suffocate me. The corners of my mind occupied by shadowy gloom and disdain for the way I've lived my life. Silent prayers being screamed so loud the walls I built around me start to shake. Wanting and wishing to be free from these shackles that I've placed on myself. Sick and tired, so I breathe in, and I breathe out, and I decide that the risk to remain tight in a bud is more painful than the risk it's going to take to blossom. Now these minds around me filled with knowledge and wisdom help me set myself free from me, helping searchers of inspiration who are inspired to inspire others to free their wings. Sorry, I'm like shaking. The wonders that I wondered while undressing and undressing the infinite eternal thoughts I pondered are laid to rest by processing and professing what I learned, inducing me to get off my ass and move something, leading me to create and relate and not just disassociate. Positive movements flowing forward, never forgetting to remember where I came from. Thumbprint of a medicinal doctor's remedy, taking the blind to extremities, able to see different degrees of obscenities. My thoughts, the things I feel, and the life I live are my choice. So I break through and find my light.
As a product of my unmanaged ways, I'm burdened with a decision. Do we dwell within these damaged days or heed the need for revision? And here I lay beside my life, this hell which holds my sin. Do I fear my stray? Fear my... Wait. What do? Do I fear my stay and ride with strife or dwell on the cold within? Man, I don't know, it's such a decision. And here I am. I live a lie, but yearn to fight this liar. But still I'd rather live than die and burn in righteous fire. So it's time for me to say goodbye. It's time for me to decide. It's time for me to tell you straight, all bullshit aside. So here's to you, my dearest addiction, and everything you cost. Here's for everything I gave away and everything I lost. Just as you were my nirvana, now you are my hell. You became the blasted lands and made me a beast that dwell. Those goddamn blasted lands. A beast within the blasted lands will pander false desires. I burned inside those blasted lands and numbed the pain with fire. Another day and here I stay, yet yearn to be released. It's in my hands to leave these lands which render me a beast.